Hello, good day, and welcome to Boardman IELTS Academy. My name is Babatunde Olaniran. If you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so now and like the video. Kindly subscribe and like my video. You can share it with your friends to watch, because I will be teaching different aspects of IELTS Academic. Everything you need to pass IELTS Academic here on YouTube. But today, I want to examine the reading module. Don't forget, I told you the reading module, you will be dealing with 3 voluminous passages and you have 40 questions to answer. 40 questions to answer. Now, this is the way the questions are arranged. After reading passage 1, there will be 13 questions. That means you will use passage 1 to answer the first 13 questions. Then, passage 2 will follow. So, question 1 to 13, you use passage 1. Then, you get passage 2. Question 14 to 26, you will use passage 2 to answer them. Then, question 27 to 40, you use passage 3 to answer them. That is the way IELTS reading is always arranged. 40 questions. You must finish in 1 hour. The passages are always long. I told you, you need techniques, you need the tips to pass, to be able to finish in 1 hour and score above 30, because you need to score above 30 before you can say you pass IELTS reading module. And that is why I tell my students, you don't have to read the passage. Just go straight to the question. Just go straight to the questions. But I will still be teaching you the tricks to get the answers. If you don't read the passage, how will you get the answer? I will be teaching you the tricks, because I will be taking the topics one by one. What do I mean by topics? That is what I want to tell you today. From question 1 to 40, you won't have the same type of question. There will be different type of question. So it's not just one type of questions. Not like something like filling the gap. No. The whole 40 cannot be filling the gaps. There will be different type of questions. What are the different type of questions in IELTS Academic? I've divided them into 12 type of questions. The first one is true, false, not given questions. You can encounter true, false, not given question. It's very common. One of the commonest questions in IELTS Academic reading. Then yes, no, not given. That's the second one. Then you have matching of statement with paragraph. Some people call it matching of information with paragraph, where you see questions like, which paragraphs contain the following information? I call it matching of information with paragraph. That's the third one. The fourth one, list of headings. List of headings, where you will be asked, you'll be given some headings and will be asked, give the appropriate heading to each paragraph. So they are telling you to give headings to the paragraphs in the passage. The paragraphs are always labeled A, B, C, D, E, F. So like that, I will still be teaching you that later. The fifth one, fill in the gap without options. You all know what filling the gaps are, but in IELTS there are 2 types of filling the gaps. The first one is filling the gap without options. That one we just have questions with gaps, and then you have to fill in the gap. You have to pick a word or 2 or 3 from the passage to fill in those gaps. Then the sixth one is filling the gap with options. Filling the gaps with options. Filling the gaps with options. That one has options. We will still look into it later. Then there is process completion. Process completion. They can give you something like a process in the IELTS. Especially, for instance, when they discuss something like the production of bottled water. The production of bottled water, let's assume they discuss it in the passage. So they can give you something like that in the question and put some gaps to fill in the missing words. So you have to locate where they discuss it in the passage and then to be able to pick your words. But not, you may pick a word and you may be wrong. What are the tricks to get the right answer? I'll be teaching you that later. Then you can have diagram completion. A diagram, and they expect you to, the labeling of the diagram. They can label some parts, but there will be gaps in some parts. They ask you to find the missing word. So I call it diagram completion. Then table completion. You can have something in form of a table with, they won't totally fill in the table. There will be some gaps. They expect you to put in the missing words. So you need to find them from the passage. So you can have table completion. Another one is list of names. I call it list of names. Some people call it matching of names with information. Whatever you call it, it's still the same thing. They will give you some names in a box and they will give you some statements. They will ask you, match the statement with the names. Who said this? Who said that? So you have to match the names with the statements. How will you quickly do that? I'll be teaching you later. Then you can have sentence completion. Sentence completion. They will give you half sentences, like maybe 4 statements that are half statements. And they will give you some possible endings in a box, separate. They ask you to pick the appropriate ending to complete each of the statements. Now, that is it. Then the last one is multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions. You all know what multiple choice is. Multiple choice can be in form of you are given a statement and then you are given option A, B, C, D. You have to pick the appropriate option as your answer. But there could be different type of multiple choice in IELTS reading. We will still be going into that later. So, I have told you 12 possible type of questions you can get in the IELTS academic reading. You won't get all the types, but you will surely get mixture of questions. Maybe mixture of 6 of them or 7 of them within that 40 questions, and you are solving 40 questions. How will you approach each of these questions? How will you know when you get to list of heading? How do you know the quickest way to approach it so that you can solve all these questions very fast and finish everything in 1 hour? I will be teaching you the skills and the tips you need. In my next video, I will start with true, false, not given, which is the first type of question I listed here. True, false, not given. From there, I will move to yes, no, not given, and I'll pick all of them one by one. So if you follow my video, subscribe and like. When I drop any lecture on each of the topic, then you'll be aware that I have a new lecture, or you have a new lecture, or I have a new information to pass across. So just subscribe and like this video, and then everything will be yours. Everything will be yours. Thank you for listening. See you